right, we're live now. Mr. Martin. Okay. Hey, Deputy, is he physically sick or mentally ill?
I'm sorry, revise. Yeah.
Is he physically in isolation or he's in isolation for a mental health issue?
He's physically in isolation, as far as I know, for being paralyzed. And yeah,
Oh, I see.
so it's just a difficult process to get him down to the housing unit to get him.
Sure. Understood.
I'm not quite sure exactly what else is going on with him.
Sure.
He was on suicide watch, but I believe that he was getting. Yeah, I'm not quite sure what else is going on with him, but yeah.
Do they have the other fellows getting ready?
Yeah, they are waiting on them to get logged in. So let me check on that for you really quickly, and we can try to get you squared away.
Okay.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Hey, good morning, sir. I know that we have one, Mr. Martin, who's in isolation that we're trying to get taken care of.
Yes, Your Honor. That's
Okay.
correct.
I mean, I'm open to handling that one first or at the end if we can't get them on in the next minute or two. Whatever you guys want to advise.
If we can't get him, he can go first.
Okay.
I believe my supervisors is already over there getting him zoomed in.
Okay.
Yeah, no, you know how many inmates be knowing. Just do it again. Then again, hopefully I don't pull nothing over the income shop.
All right.
Morning, Your Honor.
Hey, good morning. Are you with Mr. Martin?
I am with Mr. Martin, Your Honor. We may have to turn the video on and off depending on what he's doing at the moment.
Okay. That's fine. What I'm gonna do is I'll do the preliminary instructions and you can turn the video off while I'm doing that. And then once I'm done, we'll do Mr. Martin and then that way you can go ahead and leave.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. All right, looks like we've got the female side. All right. All right. Looks like we got everybody ready to go. All right, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Today is October the 4th, 2022. The time is 11:04 a.m. This is Clayton County Magistrate Court's first appearance hearing. I'm going to go over some preliminary instructions with you and kind of let you know how this hearing is going to play out. And then at the end, I'll meet with each one of you individually to go over some information for you. Now, first and foremost, I want to inform you that this is an informative hearing versus an evidentiary hearing. What that means is that this is a hearing where you would be receiving information and you will have an opportunity to ask questions at the end. However, this is not an evidentiary hearing where there will be any witnesses called against you, nor any evidence presented against you. All the evidence has been reviewed by myself and I have taken it under consideration. If you have any defenses, any alibis, or any reasons why you believe that you should not have been arrested or why you think that your case should be thrown out, save that for an evidentiary hearing. That will be at a later date. It will either be at a preliminary hearing or a motions hearing later on down the road. It is not the time for you to talk about what your defenses are because we are being broadcast live on YouTube and this recording will be saved. So anything that you say could potentially be used against you because the Solicitor General's office or the District Attorney's office will have access to it. So although you may be frustrated and although it may be tempting for you to talk about why you did what you did or why you didn't do what they say you did, please do not make any statements about that. I don't intend to ask you about it. And so for your own benefit, just make sure you do not discuss the facts of your case. Now, the information that I plan on going over with you are the nature of the charges against you, whether they are a felony or a misdemeanor, whether a bond will be set, the bond amount for each charge, and then I'll let you know the total bond amount for all charges combined, whether there are any special conditions of your bond. And then I'm going to let you know your next court date, which is if you do not bond out will be your preliminary hearing date. But if you do bond out, you do not have to appear for your preliminary hearing date. You just need to make sure that your contact information is good with the clerk's office so that you can receive notification in the mail later on down the road of when you will have another court date. Okay. Now, a couple of important things to remember. Number one, some of you may have some or all of your charges dismissed against you. If I dismiss a case today or a charge against you today, it doesn't mean that they could be gone forever. Either the solicitor's office or the district attorney's office or law enforcement may reinvestigate your case and provide more evidence to another judge. The reason why I am dismissing your case is because there is some default in the evidence that was presented to me. There may not be a witness listed. There may not be certain elements that are met. There may be facts that are missing. Okay. So if I find that there's not enough evidence, I'm going to dismiss it. Okay. That does not mean that, again, they could not come back later on down the road with more evidence. I have no idea whether they will or if they won't. All right. But I just want to make you aware of that. Now, as I mentioned, some of you will have a bond and that bond will carry special conditions. The most common types of special conditions are, number one, no contact. No contact is exactly what it sounds like. No contact. If I tell you you're not to have contact with someone, they should equal jail to you, right? And I would imagine that many of you, if not all of you, do not like being incarcerated. So anytime that that person tries to come around you, you go the opposite way or you're going to end up right back where you are today. All right. No contact also means don't send any messages electronically, Kik, WhatsApp, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, whatever creative way that you think that you can contact somebody, don't do it because there's already some type of issue between you and that person and you don't want law enforcement getting involved again. All right. The second most common type of special condition is a no violent contact. No violent contact is a little bit less restrictive. It means you can be around that person. Y'all can do whatever it is that you want to do together so long as you do not act in a way that would make them think that there's going to be some type of violence. For example, yelling, screaming, cussing, kicking, punching the air, throwing things, slamming things, putting holes in the wall, breaking things. Don't do that, or else guess what? You're going to end up right back where you are here today. And not only that, but you can subject yourself to more charges by violating the judge's order of no violent contact. And guess what a judge is not likely to do if you come back for violating a judge's order? Grant you a bond, okay? Lastly, the other most common type of special condition is a stay away provision from a certain location. If you have a stay away provision from a certain location, it's the equivalent of a no contact. Just don't go there. If it's a restaurant, if it's a store, if it's a business, do your business somewhere else. The people there, for whatever reason, do not want you there. There are a lot of places in the metro Atlanta area that you can do your shopping. Just choose another place. You don't want any issues by going back there. And don't try to be slick and be sneaky and think that you can show and nobody's going to know. Don't run the risk of coming back here by violating the judge's orders, because guess what? Again, you could subject yourself to more charges as well as not getting a bond. All right. Again, I'm going to go over with you your next court date. It will either be October the 17th if you are charged with felonies, or October the 18th if you are charged with misdemeanors. Again, if you bond out, you do not need to appear for that court date. Just make sure your information is good with the sheriff's office. I'm also going to ask if you want to hire your own attorney, which is your right, or if you would like for me to appoint a court-appointed attorney for you. All of you should have received the application for court-appointed counsel. If you filled out that application, I will review it and ensure that you qualify. If you did not fill it out, I can only assume that you want to either represent yourself, which is not advisable, but it is your right, or you are going to hire your own attorney. If you want to get a court-appointed attorney now and later on change your mind, that is okay. Whenever you get your attorney, just make sure that they file the appropriate paperwork so that the court system knows that you are going to be represented. Also, if you want to hire your own attorney right now and you later on change your mind because you can't afford one or can't find someone, on your next court date, you can let the court know that you would like to be considered for a court-appointed attorney. All right, and they will either ask you some questions or go over the application with you and then submit it for their review. Lastly, I will ask if you have any questions, but it's very important to keep this in mind. You do not want to talk about the facts of your case. So if your question is not limited to what are the charges against me, what is my bond, do I have any special conditions, when is my court date, and may I have an attorney, you should probably not ask me those questions. Now, every time I go over these instructions, I invariably get someone who comes up and asks me about a signature bond. If you know what a signature bond is, you're probably not legally entitled to one. And if you don't know what it is, then that's a good thing. So do not ask me for a signature bond. Okay, it's very important. It doesn't matter how kindly and how nicely you ask me, do not ask for a signature bond because it is not going to happen. All right. Now, I will again give you an opportunity to ask questions. I do not know how quickly it takes to process people out. As you can see, there are many people around you, and we will process the paperwork as quickly as we can. Please be kind and courteous to the jail staff. You do not want to do anything to endanger your ability to leave the Clayton County Jail. All right. If charges are dismissed you and you don't have any other pending charges anywhere, I will sign the order, get it over to the sheriff's department, and they will process you as quickly as possible. Same thing for your bonds. I do not control how much bond companies charge. I will tell you this based on my experience as a lawyer for the past 10 years in the Clayton County area. Bonds companies typically charge somewhere between 15 and 20%. So as an example, if your bond is $1,000, somewhere between $150 to $200. Okay, I'm a lawyer, not a mathematician, so I used easy numbers. But I do not control how quickly they work, nor do I control if it's a little bit more or a little bit less. You'll need to do that research on your own. Also, I do not know the conditions in which you can use a friend or a family member to bond out, okay? These are things that are not controlled by myself. Those are questions for the bonding company and or possibly the sheriff's office. Now, before we begin the individual meetings, I'm going to need a little bit of participation from everyone. It's also important to keep in mind that you carry all your constitutional rights under the Constitution of the state of Georgia, as well as the United States. You have the right to have an attorney. You have the right to not incriminate yourself. You have the right to have the state prove your guilt beyond reasonable doubt. But again, this hearing is not about guilt or innocence. This is an informative hearing, okay? So again, I'm going to need a little bit of participation from everyone. If you could please raise your right hand. All right. Do you swear or affirm that the statements that you shall make shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? You can say, I do. Okay. All right. You may put your hands down. We're going to start with Mr. Martin, and then deputies, we can go to the female side if that works for you all.
Works.
All right. Mr. Martin, we can get him up. All right. Deputy, you ready with Mr. Martin?
Can you hear Shauna?
Yes, I can hear you, sir.
Okay.
Are you there with Mr. Martin?
Yes, we're here with Mr. Martin.
Okay. Are you able to turn the video on? All right.
Yeah, they do.
I've got a little bit of lag.
Okay. They have a bad connection in that area.
Yeah. Mr. Martin, can you hear me, sir?
Yes, he can hear you.
Okay. All right.
Martin,
is it-
speak up so he can hear you.
Mr. Martin?
Speak up. Speak up.
He says, can he hear?
Can he hear you? Can you hear him?
Yes.
See how we get y'all damn job done.
Okay.
Move straight to wall.
Hey, deputy, is it possible to use the video or no?
Yes, Shauna.
Well, he's on suicide. So
I see.
if that helps.
Listen,
Yes, Shauna.
I don't want to continue. I don't want to try to power through this.
Yeah, in a minute. Okay, in a minute. Hey.
We'll give it another couple of seconds. If not, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do Mr. Martin today. I'll let them jump in. Let's do the female side, and then whenever they're ready, I can stop immediately and go to him.
It's not him, Your Honor. It's the other people that's around him. That's the loud in the background. That's why we keep muting it. It's not Mr. Martin. Mr. Martin's fine. It's the other people that's around him.
Oh, I see. I got you. All right. Well, all right, Mr. Martin, you are charged with 1 count of criminal trespass, which is a misdemeanor. There is a bond set of $1,000. The only special condition is for you not to return to the Hartsfield-Jackson International Airport while this case is pending. If you go back, you'll be in violation of your bond conditions. The next court appearance is going to be on October the 18th, 2018, if you do not bond out. I know that you are unable to fill out a court-appointed application, so I just need to know if you want a court-appointed attorney or if you want to hire one. If y'all can ask him if he wants to hire one or have one appointed.
Yes, he wants a court-appointed attorney, Your Honor.
Okay, can I just get him to, can I get him to verbalize that for me, please?
Mr. Martin.
Hold on, Martin.
Let him hear Mr. Martin. Right. He just needs to hear you want the court-appointed attorney. He just wants to hear that you want the court-appointed attorney. Can you hear him, Your Honor?
Yes, I heard him. Okay. All right. Does he have any questions?
No.
Okay. All right. Well. All right. Well, we'll get that paperwork sent over, and just let him know that his bond is $1,000.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right. No problem. All right, ma'am. Can you tell me your name, please?
Sharika Boyd.
All right, Ms. Boyd. You are charged with 1 count of battery, family violence, 1 count of violation of Georgia Controlled Substances Act, and 1 count of open container state law violation. Looks like these are older warrants. This is from June of this year. I have reviewed the evidence and I am dismissing the charges against you. Primarily, there's no victim or identifying information in the warrant, so I don't even know who it is alleged that you have gotten into an issue with. Now, with that being said, as I stated earlier, it doesn't mean that these charges can't come back later on down the road. Okay, so if you do not have any pending charges in Clayton County or anything that would hold you, once the paperwork gets processed, you'll be free to go. I would strongly encourage you to, I mean, you haven't gotten in any trouble in the past almost 4 months, so that's a good sign, but I would strongly encourage you to watch your behavior, how you interact with people. I mean, you're an adult, you know how to act, and that you not come back to the Clayton County Jail. Do you have any questions?
No, sir. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Good luck to you. All right, what's your name? I'm sorry?
My name is Janisha Dukes.
Okay. Miss Dukes. Miss Dukes, you are charged with 1 misdemeanor count of battery and 1 felony charge of robbery by sudden snatching. I am going to grant a bond on your charges. On the battery, it's going to be $3,000, and on the robbery, it is going to be $5,000. So your total bond is going to be $8,000. Okay. Now, you do have special conditions of your bond, so pay attention. You are not to have any contact with Rosa Ochoa. Okay. Now, I'm assuming you don't know who that person is, do you?
No, sir.
Okay. Also, as a special condition of your bond, do not return back to 5418 Old Dixie Road in Forest Park, Georgia. Okay. If that's a business, whatever it is that they have there, you go get it from somewhere else. Don't go back to that incident location. Okay. Okay. Now, your next court date is going to be on October the 17th. But if you bond out, you do not need to appear for that court date. You have the right to hire your own attorney, or I can appoint one for you. What would you like for me to do?
How much is my bond?
The bond total is $8,000.
Altogether?
I'm sorry?
Altogether?
Altogether, that's right. Now, do you want to hire your own attorney, or do you want me to appoint one?
No attorney, because I'm innocent against the charges. I just had bought some clothes from the store and I tried to return it, but the
Listen,
lady.
Miss Dukes, don't talk to me about the facts of your case, okay? Don't do that. It's for your own protection. I just want to know, the next words out of your mouth should be, hire my own attorney, or please appoint me an attorney. What do you want to do?
I don't want an attorney.
I'm sorry?
I don't want an attorney.
You do not want an attorney.
No, sir.
Okay.
I'm not even supposed to be here.
Okay,
I don't know.
thank you so much.
Okay, well, I'm going to mark that you do not want an attorney. Do you have any other questions about your case?
How much of a bond?
All right.
It's $8,000 total. It's usually 15 to 20%.
So would I have to pay like $800?
It's up to the bonding company.
You need to talk to the bonding company about that because again, they control the percentages, okay?
Listen out for this.
All right, what's your name, ma'am?
Elizabeth Powell.
I'm sorry, what is it?
Elizabeth Powell.
Your Honor, I apologize.
Yes.
You supposed to go, that's why I jumped on. Come on. So, Ms. Gill's coming up, Mr. Your Honor. She went out. It went out of order.
Oh, okay. Oh, I see. All right, what's your name, ma'am?
Jackita Neal.
All right, Miss Neal. It took me a minute because I didn't see Miss on there. All right, Miss Neal. Give me just a moment. All right, you did fill out your application. All right, Miss Neal, you are charged with 1 misdemeanor count of disorderly conduct, 1 criminal damage, 1 felony charge of criminal damage to property, and then 1 misdemeanor count of simple battery. I am going to grant a bond on those charges. On the disorderly conduct, the bond is going to be $1,500. On the criminal damage, it's going to be $2,500. And then on the simple battery, it's going to be $3,000. Is going to be $7,000. Okay. Now you do have a special condition of your bond to not have any contact with, and I don't know how to say this name. Is it DeSara Love maybe or Lowe? I'm not sure on the name, but
It's Desiree Lowe, my oldest sister.
oh, okay, got it. All right. Well, for the time being, don't have any contact with your older sister until this case is resolved or another judge changes your bond conditions. Okay, so just wherever she is, you don't be. Okay, there's no restrictions on where you can stay, but if y'all live together, and you don't have to tell me that, but just don't be wherever it is she is. Okay, now she can contact you, just don't try to respond. Okay, again, until your case is resolved or that bond condition gets changed. Now, your next court date is going to be on October the 17th. You do not have to appear for that court date, okay? You have the right to hire your own attorney, or I can appoint one for you. What would you like for me to do? Appoint one, okay. Approximately how much do you make per month?
I didn't get to put that down.
Right. Yeah, that's why I'm asking you just a ballpark figure about how much you make a month.
I would say, let's say less than 1,500.
Okay.
Because I have 2 jobs, but I only work 1 job. So it's been kind of slow, right?
I understand. Okay. Well, then I'm going to appoint an attorney for you. So they'll reach out to you later on down the road. Now, do you have any questions about your case?
I sure do, because I was my mother caretaker. That's what I was living with, because I was her caretaker when all this.
Okay, but don't talk to me about the facts. Just what's your question?
Right. So my question is this: so I had to pay $7,000 in all. Well, no. That's like the little bond thing, right?
Right. It's usually about 15 to 20%. Like I said, it could be a little bit less. It could be a little bit more. So 10% of 7,000 is 700. Half of that is 350. So 1,050, somewhere in that range. If I'm doing my math correct.
I can calculate it. It's okay, sir. I really thank you. Thank you.
Okay. All right. Any other questions?
No, sir.
Okay. All right. Good luck to you. All right. Are you Ms. Powell?
Yes.
Give me just a second, Ms. Powell. For whatever reason, I marked you down that I saw your paperwork, but I don't see it now. Oh, here it is. All right. All right, Ms. Powell, you are charged with 2 counts of theft by taking, both of them misdemeanors. The bond is going to be $2,000 for each charge. Okay. Now you do have special conditions of your bond to not have any contact with Antoinette Ponder and Randy Adams. You don't even know who those people are, do you?
They're variations of my name. They're DBAs and AKAs of my name.
I see. Okay. Well, I'll tell you what.
And that's my house and my property. It's just a matter of, I'm getting the documents together now so I can bring them back in. My attorneys are Clark
Okay, but
and
listen,
Mary.
listen, Miss Powell, do me a favor, okay? And do yourself a favor. Now's not the time to be talking about that, okay? You save that between yourself and your attorney, okay? All right. Now, the other special condition of your bond is until you have legal right to be there, do not go back to 1251 Briars Ridge Lane or 9576 Briar Creek Lane. If you want to go back to those addresses, you need to have a legal right to do so, because otherwise you're not allowed to do that, okay? Now, your next court appearance is going to be on October the 18th. But if you're bond out of jail, then you don't have to appear for that court date, okay? Just make sure that your information is good with the clerk's office so that you may get notice in the mail. Now, you have the right to hire your own attorney, or I can appoint one for you. What would you like for me to do?
I believe Meriwether and Clark and Meriwether's picked it up. So we'll stick it with them until, if I hear anything, I'll go to the
Okay.
public
That's
defender.
fine. Okay. That's fine. Well, I'm going to put down that you have retained private counsel, but as you just noted, if that changes, just let the court know. Okay. Do you have any other questions?
No, I just need to write those addresses down. What was those numbers on those address?
They're written down for you, so you don't have to memorize it. They're on the bond. Okay. All right. Good luck to you. All right. What's your name, ma'am?
Ashley Ward.
Okay. Miss Ward. Give me a second. All right, Miss Ward, you are charged with 1 count of battery, family violence, and which is a misdemeanor, and criminal damage in the 2nd degree, which I believe is a felony. Let me make sure how it's worded. Yes, it is. Okay. All right. I am going to issue a bond in your case on the battery, family violence. The bond is going to be $3,000. And the bond on the criminal damage, the bond is going to be $4,000. So your total bond is $7,000. Okay. Now your next court appearance is going to be on October the 18th. So I need to write that on here. Your paperwork is a little bit different than other people's for whatever reason. But if you bond out of jail, oh, I'm sorry, that's the 17th. October the 17th. But if you bond out of jail, you do not need to appear for that court date, okay? Just make sure that your information is good with the clerk's office so you can get notified of your next court date. Now, you have the right to hire your own attorney, or I can appoint one for you. What would you like for me to do? You want to hire your own attorney?
Yes, sir.
Okay, that's fine. That's your right to do so. Also, you do have a special condition of your bond to not have any contact with Jabria Turner. Do you know who that person is?
Yes, sir.
Okay, well, until your case is resolved or the bond condition is changed, just don't have any contact with that person. I went over what that means earlier, okay? Now, do you have any questions about your case?
No, sir.
Okay, all right. Good luck to you, Ms. Ward.
Thank you.
All right, what's your name, ma'am?
Brandy Woods.
All right, Ms. Woods, give me just a moment. All right, Ms. Woods, you are charged with, actually, one second. You are charged with 1 count of driving without a valid license and also 1 red light violation. I don't typically see people arrested for that, but here we are. The bond on the driving violation is $1,000, and on the red light, it's $200. So your total bond is $1,200. Okay. Your next court date is going to be on October the 18th, but if you bond out, you don't have to appear for that court date. Are you going to be able to make that bond?
Probably not.
You said probably not. Do you want to waive your preliminary hearing?
What does that mean?
Well, so your next court date is going to be on October the 18th if you're not able to bond out, right? So that's in what, 14 days? That's in 2 weeks. But if you waive your preliminary hearing, you won't go to court on October the 18th. In magistrate court, the state court will pick up your case. So that means it goes directly to the Solicitor General's office. Now, there's a benefit and there's also a potential downside to waiving your preliminary hearing. The potential benefit is if you know that, look, I'm just trying to get a potential deal or a bond reduction, you can go directly to the solicitor's office and they'll handle it there. If you think there are some evidentiary issues or you did have a license, you may want to stay in magistrate court and have a preliminary hearing. I can't really tell you what's better in particular. I'm sorry? Say that again because we were talking over each other.
I don't want to waive it.
Okay, very good. That's fine. Then on the 18th, if you are still incarcerated, you can work out something with the Solicitor General's office with your attorney. Okay.
Okay.
Now you have the opportunity to hire your own attorney, or I can appoint one for you. Which one would you like?
Can you appoint one for me?
Yes, ma'am. I will do that for you. Now, do you have any further questions about your case?
No, ma'am. No, sir.
Okay. All right. Good luck to you.
Thank you.
All right. No problem.
Your Honor, that concludes the females for this morning's first appearance calendar. May I be excused?
Yes, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Have a great day.
All right. All right. What's your name, sir?
Ronald Tyrone County.
All right. Mr. County. So you were charged with one count of obstruction of a law enforcement officer. I believe that's a misdemeanor. Let me make sure it's worded that way. It is. And then one count of theft by shoplifting. On the misdemeanor obstruction, the bond is going to be $1,000. On the theft by shoplifting, the bond is going to be $2,000. So your total bond is going to be $3,000. Okay. Now, you do have a special condition to not return back to Walmart located at 6065 Jonesboro Road in Morrow, Georgia. So if you need to do some shopping, just go somewhere else. I would suggest staying away from all Walmart, but specifically, you must stay away from that one. Okay. Now, your next court appearance is going to be on October the 18th, but if you bond out, you do not need to appear for that court date. You have the right to hire your own attorney, or I can appoint one for you. What would you like for me to do?
Appoint an attorney for you, sir.
Okay, I will do that for you. Now, do you have any questions about your case?
No, sir.
Okay, all right. Good luck to you, Mr. County.
Thank you, sir. You have a blessed day.
Down.
Charles Dow.
All right, Mr. Donald. You are charged with one count of misdemeanor battery family violence. Again, this is a misdemeanor. I am going to grant a bond of $4,000. As part of the special condition of your bond, you're not to have any contact with Amanda Sims. Is that someone, do you know who that person is?
Yeah, she's actually holding my baby.
Okay, I got you. All right, well, I know that it may be difficult, but until your case is resolved or another judge changes your bond conditions, don't have any contact with her, okay? Do y'all live together?
Yes.
Okay, let me see. Do you need to get any belongings from the 701 Mount Zion Road address? Do you need to get your stuff from there?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm going to put in your bond order that you may go back and get your belongings, but don't just show up with a piece of paper saying the judge said I could come here, okay? We don't want any issues between you and Ms. Sims, and that's for your own protection and for hers. So what you'll need to do is go to the sheriff's department, take a copy of your bond order and let them know that you want to schedule a time to go and get your belongings, and they will go with you and you'll have an opportunity to get whatever you need to get from there until such time as your case is over or the bond conditions change, and then you can go back to wherever she is. Now, if she doesn't live there, you can go there. There's no problem. But wherever she is, you just don't be, because she equals jail to you. Does that make sense? I'm sorry, does that make sense? Okay.
Yes.
Okay, got you. Thank you, sir. All right, now you have an opportunity to hire your own attorney, or I can appoint one for you. What would you like for me to do?
Court appointed, please.
Okay, I'm sorry, give me just one moment. I'm the on-call judge for warrant, so stand by. All right, sorry about that. I got double booked today. All right. Mr. Dowell, did you indicate that you wanted to have a court appointed attorney? Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, very good. I will do that for you, sir. Now, again, the next court date is October the 18th, but if you bond out, you do not need to appear for that court date. All right. Do you have any questions about your case?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. All right. Good luck to you, sir.
Thank you.
Jackson.
Yes, sir. All right. What's your name, sir?
Antonio Jackson.
All right. Mr. Jackson. Mr. Jackson, you were charged with one count of criminal trespass, which is a misdemeanor. I am going to grant a bond of $2,000 in your case, okay? Now, you do have a special condition of your bond. You do not need to return back. Do not go to 11616 Spring Lake Way in Clayton County, okay? So I don't know what the relationship is between you and that location, but somebody doesn't want you there. So please don't return back, or else you subject yourself to more charges, okay? Again, your court date is going to be on October the 18th, but if you bond out, you do not need to appear for that court date. You have the right to hire your own attorney, or I can review your application to appoint one for you. What would you like for me to do?
Appointed.
Okay. All right. I will do that. Now, do you have any questions about your case?
Have a blessing.
All right. Thank you, sir. Good luck to you.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes,
Mr. Jones.
sir.
Yes, sir. You were charged with one count of theft by taking, and looks like a misdemeanor, and one count of cruelty to children. I have reviewed the evidence against you, and on the theft by taking, the bond is going to be $2,000. Okay. Also, you're not to have any violent contact with Diana Harris. So violent contact means you can be around her, but don't yell, don't scream, don't throw things, don't punch, don't start cussing at her, calling her names and things like that, to where people would think that some type of violence is going to occur. Okay. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Now, as it relates to the cruelty to the children charge, I'm dismissing that. I don't believe that there's enough evidence for that particular charge against you. It may be foolish. You may have acted in a foolish manner, and it may not be good parenting, and it may be beneath you to act like that, but it doesn't rise to the level of that particular charge. Okay. Now, again, the DA's office, there's office could review it, and that charge may come back later on down the road, just so you know. I'm not saying that it will. I'm not saying that it won't. I'm just saying that there wasn't enough evidence for me to keep that charge, okay? Now, the next court date is going to be on October the 18th. But if you bond out, you do not need to appear at that court date. Now, you have the right to hire your own attorney, or I can appoint one for you. What would you like to do, sir?
You can appoint one for me, sir.
Okay.
Thank you so much, man. I'm
Yes,
good.
sir. Okay. All right. Nothing else? No questions.
You have a great day, sir.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Good luck. Please don't come back.
Thank you.
Kirkland.
All right, sir. What's your name?
Dimitri Kirkland.
All right, Mr. Kirkland. You were charged with 1 felony count of violation of the Georgia Controlled Substances Act and 1 misdemeanor count of drug-related objects. I am going to set a bond on the drug charge at $7,000 and on the misdemeanor charge $3,000. So your total bond is going to be $10,000. Okay. You don't have any special conditions of bond other than not to violate the law further. You do have the right to hire your own attorney, or I can appoint one for you. What would you like for me to do, sir?
Appoint one for me, please.
Okay. All right, I will do that. Now, your next court date is going to be on October the 17th, but if you bond out, you do not need to appear for that court date, okay? Just make sure that your information is good with the sheriff's department and the clerk's office, so you know when your next court date is going to be. Do you have any questions? Okay, all right, you're good to go. All right, thank you, sir. Good luck to you.
Lawrence.
All right, sir, what's your name?
Lawrence.
All right, Mr. Lawrence, you are charged with 1 misdemeanor count of simple assault and 1 misdemeanor count of criminal trespass. The bond on each charge is going to be $3,000, okay? As a special condition of your bond, you're not to have any violent contact with Christy Brown, which means that you can be around Miss Brown, just don't yell, scream, cuss, throw things, break things, throw a tantrum and things like that, all right? I mean, you're an adult, you know how to act. If you feel yourself getting angry, just remove yourself from the situation, all right? Your next court date is going to be on October the 18th, but if you bond out, you don't have to appear for that court date. You have the right to hire your own attorney, or I can appoint one for you. What would you like me to do?
I'd like to get one appointed.
All right, I will do that for you. Do you have any questions about your case?
Sure.
Okay, all right, good luck to you, sir. All right, sir, what's your name?
Martin Lewis. Martin
All right,
Lewis.
Mr. Lewis, you were charged with 1 count of misdemeanor battery and 1 count of cruelty to children in the 3rd degree. They are both misdemeanors. I am going to grant a bond of $5,000 on the battery and $2,000 on the cruelty to children. A special condition of your bond is to not have any contact with Brianna Dralton or Lativia Ferguson. Now, do you live with either one of those individuals?
Now, I live with Mr. Brianna Trump.
Okay.
I live with who the second person is.
Okay, that's fine. Then it should be very easy for you to stay away from her, okay? Let's see. Are you at the Webb Road address or are you at the Valentine Court address? Which address are you at?
I'm at the Webb Road when I go to work. But Valentine Court is in Louisiana, but I'm in Barrington, Maine, Villa Rica, on the mall.
Okay, well, let me, I guess, kind of break it down like this. Wherever Miss Brianna Draughton is, you can't be. Now, if she stays with you or you stay with her, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to say that you can go and get your things from her residence, but you need to go through the proper channels and the proper ways to do it. You just can't show up and be like, the judge said I could get my stuff, get out of my way. You need to make an appointment with the sheriff's office, and I'm going to put that in your paperwork so you can take it up there and they'll know how to do it. They do it all the time. But that's for your own protection and for hers and for the general citizens of Clayton County. We don't want any more issues. Hold on a second. Hold on. I'm going to give you an opportunity to ask questions if you want. Now, again, wherever she is, you can't be. If she's not at a certain location, then you can be there. But if she's at a certain location, you don't be there, because guess what? If you do be there, then you're going to end up right here. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Now, once your case is resolved and there's no conditions on you or another judge changes it, then you can go by that. But until then, just don't be around her. Don't make contact with her. Okay. Now, your next court date is going to be on October the 18th, but if you bond out, you do not need to appear for that particular court date. Now, you have the right to hire your own attorney, or I can appoint one for you. What would you like for me to do?
Appoint one for myself.
Okay. How many children do you have that are under the age of 18?
I have one with her, but she have a son, and I take him at 6 years old. So
got it.
I have 1 year old and a 6-year-old.
Got it. So that's 2. Okay. I just needed to answer that question because it wasn't filled out for you, sir. All right. So I'm going to grant you a court-appointed attorney. They'll reach out to you or they'll meet with you on your next court date. Do you have any questions about your case?
The bond is again?
I'm sorry?
What is the bond again?
7,000 total.
Okay. 700.
Okay. All right. Good luck to you, sir.
Okay.
All right, what's your name, sir? Oh, no, I can't hear him. All right, what's your name?
Logan.
All right, Mr. Logan, you are charged with 1 count of theft by shoplifting, 1 count of giving a false name, date of birth or address, and obstruction of an officer. All of them are misdemeanor charges. On the shoplifting, the bond is $2,000. On the obstruction, the bond is $1,000, and on the false name address, the bond is $193. So your total bond is $3,193. Okay. Now, a special condition of your bond is not to return to the Family Dollar located at 8500 Highway 85 in Riverdale, Georgia. So if you need to get any type of stuff, don't go to the Family Dollar. In fact, I would encourage you to avoid that entire shopping plaza. Okay, just you don't want to end up back here. Just don't go over there. Okay. Your next court appearance is going to be on October the 18th for a preliminary hearing. But if you bond out, you do not need to appear for that court date. Okay, just make sure your information is correct so that they can let you know when your court will be later on down the road. Now, you have the right to hire your own attorney, or I can appoint one for you. What would you like to do? Do you want to hire your lawyer, or do you want a court-appointed attorney? Okay. Is there a reason why you didn't fill out your application?
See you on the 18th, sir.
I'm sorry?
Say, see you on the 18th.
I'm not going to be there on the 18th. It'll be a different judge. But I asked you a question. Is there a reason why you didn't fill out your application?
Yeah, I'm not eligible. I'm not right.
Understood. Okay. All right. Well, are you currently employed?
Yeah.
I'm sorry?
Yes.
Okay, approximately how much money do you earn per month? There's a lag or a delay, so I need you to verbally answer me. How much money do you make per month?
Thank you for your time, Your Honor.
Hold on, I'm not done with you yet. I'm not done with you. Hey, Deputy Ricania.
Hey,
Hold tight, Mr. Logan. Is Ricania there?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. All right. I'm having some trouble with the audio here with Mr. Logan. Mr. Logan, I asked you, how much do you make per month?
No, he's just not answering, Your Honor.
Oh, I see. All right. Mr. Logan, are you married? If I'm asking you a question, I need you to respond with either a yes or a no. It's not difficult, sir. Do you have any children? Yes or no? Yes or no? All right. And since you didn't fill out your application, do you agree that it's okay for me to put down that you want me to consider you for a court-appointed attorney? Do you want me to consider that? Yes or no?
Yes.
All right. You see, Mr. Logan, it's not too difficult if you just cooperate. All right, I'm going to appoint you a court-appointed attorney. Do you have any other questions about your case? All right, good luck to you, sir. All right, what's your name, sir? All right, Mr. Mapson, you are charged with 1 count of theft by shoplifting, the misdemeanor. It is going to be $1,000, okay? The only special condition of bond that I have for you is to not go back to the Walmart located at 2940 Amble Block Road in Ellenwood, Georgia, okay? If you need to do some shopping, just do it somewhere else. Specifically, don't go back to that Walmart, but I would suggest not to go back to any Walmart just to save yourself any type of headache, okay?
You said my bond is 1,000?
2,000, 2,000.
Okay.
Yes, sir. All right. Your next court date is going to be on October the 18th. If you bond out, you do not need to appear for that court date. You have the right to hire your own attorney, or I can appoint one for you. Which one would you like, sir?
You have to do it for me.
Okay. All right. All right. I am going to grant that request and appoint an attorney for you. Do you have any questions about your case? Okay. All right. Good luck to you, sir.
Yeah, you good. Tablet.
I just sit down.
All right. What's your name, sir?
Sorry, screen tablet.
All right, Mr. Taplett, you are charged with various misdemeanor driving offenses. The first one is fleeing from police under a warrant ending in 813. The bond is $3,000. Obstruction of an officer, warrant ending in 814. The bond is $1,000. Reckless driving, warrant ending in 815. The bond is $3,000. Red light violation, warrant ending in 816. The bond is $1,000. Driving without a license or on a suspended or revoked license, warrant ending in 817. The bond is $1,500. Speeding, warrant ending in 818. The bond is $3,000. And then leaving the scene, warrant ending in 819. The bond is $1,500. So your total bond is 369, 10, 11. 11 plus 3 is 14. Let me make sure I did that correctly. Okay, so your total bond is $14,000, okay? Now, your next court date is going to be on October the 18th. If you bond out, you do not need to appear for that court date. But if you don't, you'll have your preliminary hearing date. Do you have the right to hire your own attorney, or I can appoint one for you? Which one would you like for me to do, sir? Okay. Okay, I will do that. Do you have any questions about your case, Mr. Tapley?
I know I'm not supposed to say the details of my case, but being at the date of these offenses, is there any way that I can have some type of consideration of some of these charges?
Give me just a second. I see. Well, I mean, the consideration was already taken, but I do see what you're saying, and so it's kind of a double-edged sword, Mr. Taplett. On the one hand, it looks like you haven't done anything to interact with police officers in the past month and a half, but at the other hand, I mean, given the severity of the charges, I mean, I'm a part-time judge here, but I also work outside of this and primarily handle car wrecks, and it's a very fortunate thing for yourself and for other people that somebody wasn't seriously hurt or killed. And so, you know, I'm not going to punish you for what could have happened, because it didn't, but also, I mean, these are pretty serious driving offenses. And so I would say that the consideration has already taken place. However, when you speak with your attorney, they can obviously file a motion for reconsideration or a change in bond conditions. Okay. All right. Do you have any other questions? Okay. All right. Good luck to you, sir.
Good.
What's your name, sir?
Thanks, Jeff, on your honor.
All right. Mr. Underwood, give me just a moment.
Yes, sir.
Oh, wait a minute. I didn't get your paperwork. Is somebody working on your bond, Mr. Underwood?
Absolutely. Right now. Shouldn't even be here.
Yeah, well, I think I don't know whether you should or shouldn't be here, but I think somebody was working on your bond and indicating that you would be bonding out. So I don't have your paperwork. So just hang tight, and I think you're going to get processed. But the thing is, they have to get everybody ready just in case you didn't bond out or wasn't. So hold tight for me real quick, okay? Don't move. All right. I'm going to sign your bond order, Mr. Underwood. I don't have your paperwork, but in case this was, well, now I want to see the paperwork.
I wanted to see it.
Because it may be a dismissal, Mr. Underwood. I don't know.
Your Honor.
Well, I'm not saying that I am going to do it. I'm just saying that this particular charge, it depends on what the facts of the circumstances are. So here's what we're going to do, Mr. Underwood, because I don't know who charged you and why you're being charged. However, it does appear that you're in the process of bonding out. So I'm going to make a note that if for whatever reason you don't bond out today, you're going to appear back tomorrow. Okay. I know that's not what you want to hear, but I don't have any control of it otherwise. And so if you're here tomorrow, I'll make sure that either I or another judge review the paperwork. And if it needs to be dismissed, it will be. It's not a guarantee. Again, I've seen this charge before from certain facts and circumstances where it gets dismissed. All right. So either way, just hang tight and you'll either be processed out, or worst case scenario, we'll see you tomorrow morning for either the bond will be the same and you just keep riding, or it'll be dismissed against you. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir. One quick question. So if
Yes,
I
sir.
find out today and review my charges tomorrow, will they still be dropped?
No, no. If you bond out, the charges will automatically be sent either to the DA's office or the solicitor's office, depending on whether it's a felony or misdemeanor. Now, if they're doing their job correctly, they'll review it for a dismissal. Okay. But again, I don't want you to think that it's going to be automatic. There are only certain circumstances.
I'm
That's the
good.
case.
I'm good. I'm good.
Okay. All right. Good luck to you, sir. Don't come back.
I won't.
All right.
Warren.
All right. Mr. Warren. Mr. Warren, what's your first name?
Tyron Warren.
Okay. All right. I just wanted to make sure that I got it correct, sir. I didn't know if Maurice was your middle name or your first name. Let's see, Mr. Warren. I've reviewed the charge against you and I'm dismissing it. I don't think that there's no evidence against you other than a conclusory statement. So I have to have some type of evidence against you, sir. I don't need a lot, but I need some, and I just don't have it here. Who is Rashandra, either Shivers or Shivers? Who is that to you?
Nobody, sir. I just knew her in 2014.
I mean, you know who that person is. It's not a stranger, correct?
Right.
Do y'all have a child together?
No.
Okay. Well, she's the one that took this warrant out on you. Do you know that?
No, I just found out yesterday when I was laying on the street.
Got it. Okay. Well, typically when I see this, it's because there's, a shared child between you and this other person, and whatever the case may be. If you have children and you have either child support obligations or whatever, just make sure you're taking care of them, and hopefully this doesn't happen to you again. Okay. All right. Do you have any questions?
No, sir.
All right. Good luck to you, sir. Don't come back.
Wait.
All right. What's your name, sir? Edward White. Is that you?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right, Mr. White, you were charged with one count of trafficking in marijuana, which is a felony offense. I'm not inclined to grant a bond at this time. Your preliminary hearing date is going to be on October the 17th, 2017. At that time, you'll meet with an attorney, and they can discuss with the DA's office the facts and circumstances of your case, or you can have an evidentiary hearing against you. Now, you have the right to hire your own attorney, or I can appoint one for you. What would you like?
I have my own.
Okay. Do you already have that person?
Yes, I got one. I just got to make a call.
Okay. Who is that person?
Say that again.
What's the name of the attorney?
Wade. Attorney Wade.
Okay. All right. That's fine. All right. Just make sure that your attorney get their paperwork in before the 17th. So just remember that court date. October the 17th. That's when your next court date is. Okay.
Appreciate it.
All right. Yes, sir. Do you have any questions?
No, sir. No, sir.
All right. Good luck to you, sir. All right. What's your name, sir?
It's one my table driver right now.
All right. Mr. Right. You were charged with one count of terroristic threats. Let's see. This is the misdemeanor version. I am going to grant a bond of $3,000. Okay. Now, special condition of your bond is to not have any contact with Amanda Holmes. Do you know who that person is?
Yes.
Okay. Well, as of right now, don't have any contact with her. Okay. That means physically, via phone, text message, iMessage, whatever it is. Okay. No Snapchat, Kick, Twitter, none of that. Okay. Instagram. Your next court date is going to be on October the 18th, but if you bond out, you do not need to appear for that court date, okay?
Yes, sir.
Now, you have the right to hire your own attorney, or I can appoint one for you. What would you like to do, sir?
You guys set an appointment for me, sir.
Okay. Is there a reason why you didn't fill out your application?
Yeah, I did. My knowledge, I didn't really know at the time what I wanted to do.
Okay, fair enough. Are you currently employed?
Yes, sir. I'm a shift leader manager at Wendy's.
Okay, very good. Approximately how much do you make a month?
At least 4,000 a month. And then last time I checked.
Okay, that's not bad, sir. What's your monthly rent or mortgage payments?
I stay with my mom.
Okay, do you make any payments to her, help her out with the bills or anything?
I pay like $300 a month.
Okay. All right. Do you have, are you legally married?
No, sir.
Okay. Do you have any children?
No, sir.
Okay. Have you ever served in the military?
No, sir.
Okay. Do you stay at the Attleboro Drive residence? Is that where you stay at?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Give me just a moment. Now, I just want to make sure that I understand you correctly. You believe that you make approximately 4,000 a month? Are you sure?
Yeah, well, I know my checks are around 2,000 every 2 weeks. I do 60 hours a week.
Oh, okay. So you put in long hours. Got it.
Yeah, I'm a manager for real. Like, I'm missing work right now.
I understand. Are you gonna be able to make your bond?
I mean, already, yeah.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. You don't stay with Miss Holmes doesn't stay with you, does she?
No, sir.
Okay, good.
She stayed with her parent.
Okay, very good. I just want to make sure there's no issues there. Mr. Wright, I don't want to punish someone for doing well because it seems like you put in a lot of work and you're doing pretty decent for yourself. Do you have any other type of debt? Like, do you have car payments or anything?
I just sent my car. No, I mean, sent my car out at the car maintenance because a friend wrecked it. So that was my last. Bill I had in my name. You know,
I got you. All right, and it's okay if I review this application. Do you agree?
Yes.
Okay. How old are you? 22 plus 3. You're 25 years old?
Yes, sir. Your Honor.
All right, I'm gonna grant it anyway. You're still young. I'm gonna grant you a court-appointed attorney. You're right on the financial line as it relates to qualifying, but I'd rather err on the side of caution than have you go forward without one. You know, Mr. Wright, just make sure you don't come back, man. I mean, you know, you're working long hours. You seem to be hustling very hard, and this is not the place for you to be. As you said, you're missing work right now. So don't come back. Just make sure you don't have any contact. Let this play out. Speak with your attorney, get through it, and then hopefully we never see you again where you are. Okay. All right. Do you have any questions?
Sir, have a blessed one.
All right. Good luck to you, sir. All right. What's your name, sir?
Number Wright, Your Honor.
Okay. Mr. Wright. Give me just a moment, sir. I forgot to mark something here.
Yes, sir.
All right, Mr. Wright. You are charged with one misdemeanor count of cruelty to children in the 3rd degree. The bond is going to be set at $3,000, which is a misdemeanor. You're also charged with one felony count of aggravated assault by strangulation. The bond is going to be $10,000. You're not to have any contact with, what is Miss Webb's first name? LaRonda. You're not to have any contact with Miss LaRonda Webb. Now, my understanding is, do you have a child with Miss Webb?
Yes, Your Honor. We have 6 children, 6 small children together.
Got it. All right. Well, Mr. Wright, it's going to be, you're going to have to be very resourceful and creative because the condition isn't for you to stay away from your kids, it's to stay away from her. So you can't contact her in any way for whatever reason about kids, food, what the Atlanta Falcons or whatever, it doesn't matter. Okay. Now, if you want to be around your children, just make sure that she's not around when you're around them. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir. It makes perfect sense.
Okay. Now, when your case is resolved or a judge changes the bond conditions for you to be around her, that's on them. All right. But your total bond is $13,000. Do not have any contact with LaRonda Webb. Do you have anything? Let me see here. Golden Meadow Drive. Does she live at the Golden Meadow Drive address?
Yeah, we married. We live together there.
Okay. Well, unfortunately, I can't have you go back there, so I need you to be somewhere else, okay? I mean, because if she's staying there, you can't be there anyway. Does that make sense? But
yes.
I am putting in your bond order that you can go there and get your belongings because I don't want you to start off with nothing. That doesn't make sense. That's not going to help you out. Now, listen to me, Mr. Wright. Don't just show up there and say with a U-Haul and say, I'm coming to get my stuff. You have to go through the proper protocol and the procedure. So I'm putting in your paperwork for you to go to the sheriff's office, and they do this all the time. And you've heard me tell other people this. They know how to set it up to where you can go and get your things. Okay. And when you go there, they're going to be with you. So she doesn't start anything with you. You don't start anything with her. Everybody is kosher and calm and collected.
That's perfect for me.
And then you get your stuff. Okay. And you just write it out and let this case play out how it needs to play out. Okay. Don't get yourself in any more trouble, sir. Now you have the right to hire your own attorney, or I can appoint one for you. What would you like to do?
For now, you can appoint me one, sir. That's no problem.
Okay, you are correct. It is no problem. I will do that for you. Now, your next court date is going to be on October the 17th. But if you bond out, you do not need to appear for that court date. Okay.
I have a birthday on the 23rd. I need to bond out.
I hear that, Mr. Wright. I hear that. Okay. All right. Well, you're going to be able to make that bond?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Very good. Well, just make sure that you're on your piece.
13,000 and like 15%, right?
15, 20%, give or take.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Do you have any other questions?
No, sir. Have a good day. Thank you.
Mr. Wright, don't come back.
Yes, sir.
All right. Take care. Good luck.
And that's going to be over on the calendar.
I'm sorry?
That's going to be over on the calendar there, Your Honor.
Okay. All right, Deputy. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
I'm going to stop the recording.